Harris has to pick a running mate no later than tomorrow. Who it will be is down to 3 main contenders. White House correspondent Serena Marshall joining us now with more on the Veep stakes. Serena, what do we know at this point?
Yeah, Jay, well, we know the vice president was hunkered down this weekend at her residence here in D.C., the Naval Observatory, meeting with those potential running mates. And there were cars seen by the press going in and out of that residence. But the only person we could spot was Eric Holder. His law firm was responsible for doing the vetting, the background and the financial disclosures of those possible running mates. But we have confirmed via a source familiar that at least 3, those top contenders, were at the residence over the weekend on Sunday, meeting with her, doing that vibe check, seeing how they meshed together personally. And that includes Mark Kelly, the senator from Arizona, Josh Shapiro, the governor of Pennsylvania, as well as governor of Minnesota, Tim Waltz. Now, those 3 are considered the leading contenders. Pete Buttigieg has been named and floated as a possible contender. And we do know he met with the vice president on Friday. It is unclear if that was part of the same meeting process for her to pick this running mate. But she has to select the person by Tuesday. And then they're going to be hitting a multi-state, swing state tour, going out together on the road. But first, let's break down what we know about these 3 top contenders. Now, Mark Kelly, a senator from Arizona, who was elected back in 2020. He's the husband of Gabby Gifford. She was shot in that mass shooting incident, and they formed a pact together. He's a former Navy pilot. He's a former astronaut. He's also a twin. Now, if he was picked, the Democratic governor of Arizona would be the one to fill his vacant Senate seat in Arizona, obviously a key swing state, and that Senate seat is seated through 2026, so at least gets Democrats to hold on to that seat through the following midterms. Then there's Josh Shapiro. He's considered by some to be a favorite. He's the governor of Pennsylvania, been that governor since 2023, but worked in politics for almost 20 years. When he was AG, before picking up that governorship, he was endorsed by former President Obama. He is considered a favorite of the former president. And if selected, he'd be only the 2nd Jewish person to be listed at the top of an executive ticket, the first being Lieberman back in 2000. But Shapiro faces a lot of criticism as of late for his support of Israel, as well as his office's handling of a sexual harassment complaint against one of his aides. And then there's Minnesota Governor Tim Walz. Now, he's considered a favorite of Nancy Pelosi. He's amiable, elected to Congress back in 2006, and served for 12 years. And at the time, he obtained that title of being the highest-ranking enlisted soldier in the history of Congress. Currently, he chairs the Democratic Governors Association, and if he was selected, his lieutenant governor, Peggy Flanagan, would be elevated to the governorship, and that would make her state's first female governor and the first Native American woman to lead the U.S. Senate. Now, the vice president expected to announce who she will pick no later than tomorrow. They hit that swing state tour, the battleground states tour, launching tomorrow afternoon, evening in Pennsylvania, Philadelphia, where they'll be on the campaign trail together. But the vice president, Kamala Harris, could announce who she's picking as soon as this evening. And it comes as the polls show an uptick, a near dead heat between the former President Donald Trump and Harris. Look at this swing state poll recently released, and it shows that those battleground states that they're both vying for, just almost completely dead even between the two. And it does come as now there are questions brewing as whether or not Vice President Harris and former President Trump will actually tee off in a debate this year. Now, it was once scheduled for September 10th on ABC, but over the weekend, the former president posting on Truth Social saying and questioning, essentially saying he's not going to do that debate because of conflicts with ABC, saying that he has a lawsuit against them. He says, I have agreed with Fox News to debate Harris on Wednesday, September 4th. The debate was previously scheduled against sleepy Joe Biden on ABC, and that has been terminated. Now, Trump did agree to that ABC debate, though, before Harris rose to the top of the ticket, and it was against Joe Biden. But it was also 2 months after that lawsuit was filed against ABC. Now, Harris's chief communications director, Michael Tyler, posted and responded saying, we're happy to discuss debates going further after you participate in the one that was previously scheduled. He went on to say, the campaigns have already agreed. Mr. Anytime, Anywhere, Anyplace should have no problem with that unless he is too scared to show up on the 10th. Trump saying in a follow-up social media post that he's going to see Harris on the 4th or not at all. And now there is questions still of whether or not we'd even have a VP debate once Harris selects her running mate. J.D. Vance and the Trump team hadn't accepted Harris's debate when she was at the vice presidential level for that debate. So, you guys, there's a big question now if we'll even have a vice president debate, let alone a presidential debate between these two contenders, even as they are in this dead heat with these key battleground states.
White House correspondent Serena Marshall reporting. Thank you.